We're just going to jump right into some questions. So what's something that you see people doing online to their locks that you wish they would just stop?
What I see people doing or practitioners doing?
Ooh. Let's start with people first.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I wish people would stop comparing their locks to other people.
That part.
Taking advice from people who are not their consultant, their practitioner, their loctician. Seeking advice from unlicensed or unqualified people. Because it often leads to you coming into the chair and seeking repairs more times than none. Listen to who did your hair.
Right. Stay off them Facebook groups.
You sought out your practitioner for a reason. You trusted them to start your journey. Trust them throughout the journey.
Right. That whole part. Something that other practitioners be doing that I wish they would stop. I'm going to say first and foremost, telling people you can do stuff you can't do.
Okay.
Like, tell people you don't know how to do something and stop playing in people's heads. Because I was big on, if I could not provide a service, I would tell the people I can't do that. There's nothing worse than being in your studio trying to do something that you really don't know how to do and just hoping that it works out, child. Like, yeah, it's the not cleaning up the grid for me. You know, I'm real grid-tastic out here. I just don't like...
Yeah.
No, when you get a retie, it should look like you got a retie. I know y'all heard me say that over and over again. It should look real neat and clean. I should see all the little squares and all the rows and all the things. However, I know that there are people who disagree with that. There are people who very loudly disagree with that. There are people who very loudly disagree with cleaning up grids because they believe that it's somehow damaging. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. And
you should take our class.
You should take the class because then you know what you're doing.
I think for me, it's kind of piggybacking on what you said about being honest of like your limitations and your skill set. But even further than that, like not being supportive of the client's journey. If a client is asking questions like, hey, I'm seeing my locks look weird, whether it's like they notice bunching or slippage or anything that they're questioning, and then they're met with, oh, it's just fine. It's fine. Your hair's doing great.
Yeah.
And it's like...
if it's really not.
Right. And again, unfortunately, this is downfall to gatekeeping. The client really doesn't know what they don't know. They just know that it looks weird or it doesn't look like Pam and Eva's client's hair. And they're like, they don't have any support. Yeah. So now they're having to book a transfer client consultation only to hear that all of your locks are combined, or you have birthday decoration locks.
Not birthday. Okay,
y'all know what I'm talking about.
I cannot.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Explain the birthday decorations.
You know the things. You take the little construction paper and you make the circle and you tape in the circle.
The chain links.
You got the chain link locks. You out here with chain link locks, or they didn't lock your ends and they didn't tell you to braid and bend, so now you got fat ends. They didn't tell you to braid and bend, so now you got slippage.
That part, because I can't tell you how many people, when I posted a braid and band video, the comment section, I was shocked that so many people were like, I have never been told to do this. What is this?
No, like, that's a waste of money.
What? Yeah, it's
the quickest way to waste your money.
It really is.
Failing to braid and bend.
It is. Like, you don't walk away after your establishment with actual locks. You have interlocked hair at that point. Them things have not done anything yet. They need to mature. They're not locks yet. You need to braid and bend them.
100%. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. It's like failing to be
informative
and supportive and open to a client's concerns, and not just getting defensive if a client's questioning what you're doing. You know what I mean?
That part.
Or just taking autonomy and making decisions on a client's head without their consent. Like, you out here just combining locks and your clients don't know she got combined locks.
Right. That whole part.
Like, it's not your head.
Yes, that part.
It's not yours.
That reminds me of a conversation that I had with a client recently who's a transfer client, and we're doing a whole like grid reconstruction on her. And so I told her from jump, because it's a grid reconstruction especially, there will be scissors involved. I feel like whenever you're busting out scissors on a client's head, you should know as a client, like, what are you doing with them scissors? And what's going to be happening with them scissors? Because imagine just sitting there in the chair, you have no clue what's happening, and somebody's hovering over you and you hear a snip. Or you just hear some shears being pulled out of the, you know what I mean? You're going to be stressed. There are some people who genuinely do not like scissors being used on their heads. Like, and that's their right, but the alternative to not using scissors is popping the locks apart.
I did have a client like that.
Yeah.
She was like, the sound, it was a trigger for her. So she was like, just pop it.
And that's their right. You know, if that's what they prefer, if they prefer that I don't use scissors at all, that's their right. But I do explain, you know, the pros and cons to each scenario. In my opinion, using scissors is the best way to go because you're not, you know, potentially ripping out hairs, but also the popping of the locks can be really painful for some people. And in this particular client's case, she hasn't had a retie in 9 months. So she has locks that are very much matted together that need to be separated. And, you know, for the grid to be reconstructed, it's going to take me parting and making some nice neat rows for her. That's going to be like a lot of separating hairs, and that can be really painful. So the alternative, instead of popping and separating those things, is to just do a little snip.
So you're even more intentional about what you're cutting.
Absolutely. I'm not chopping off locks. I already told her, like, her locks, her hair, thankfully, she has very dense, thick hair. Her locks will be just fine. Like, I will be able to safely separate those. She's not going to lose any locks.
Okay.
But they are pretty matted together. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of surgery, you know, trying to find my way through with the scissors. And she's okay with me using the scissors. So, but I just made sure that she was aware because I feel like you should have control over what's happening on your head.
Ooh, piggybacking off of that, one thing I don't like that clients do, I'm calling y'all out, question everything.
Yeah.
That is your right. And if your practitioner is getting defensive or offended because you're asking clarifying questions, that's your sign to get out the chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I whip out a bottle of crazy glue,
right,
I'm going to need you to ask a question.
Say something.
What you doing with that?
The crazy thing is that happened to one of Pam's clients, Jazz.
Yes. And she sat there.
Yeah.
I was so mad at her. Girl.
Yeah. Get up.
Sultan pulls out a lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just sit there and let them set your hair on fire.
Right. Y'all would be surprised the stuff we've heard. Cause they probably like, girl, super glue. You talking about lighter
yes,
like fire on hair? Like